guys, how's it going? So this is Kingdom Rush Episode 3, and as always we're going to go over the upgrades here, and we're going to decide what we're going to get. So, as usual, I think the Mage and Archer Towers are pretty darn good, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start upgrading these guys. So I'm going to upgrade first of all this, and I think the next one is pretty good too. Mage Towers and Construction are all 10% cheaper, so that's definitely a good thing. Definitely better than Piercing Shots if you ask me. So what we're going to do is we're done with this and we're going to start the third level. This is Pagras. And of course we're on normal mode just like usual. And this one's a little bit different because there is two ways for your enemies to come in. So you got to be a little bit careful here, guys. And usually different units do come from different areas. So that being said, you should organize your towers in a specific way that'll help you do better. As far as I think right now the end towers, the end of the map is probably more important, so I'm actually going to mix up with these guys. Get some Mage Towers and Archer Towers up in here, and I think this one's actually pretty important as well, so I'm actually going to get another Archer Tower here. I think my barracks might go right around here, and the barracks just goes in a spot that's not very important. But you also need to put it next to your important towers. So, all these crappy goblins over here, I guess, whatever, they're weak, they only got 20 health, and they have no physical armor or anything, and they only cost 1 life if they do get by. There are a few enemies that actually do cost quite a bit of lives if they do get by. There's 3s and there's 5s and there's stuff like that. So like I was saying, I really don't use Bombard Towers too much. I don't think they're that great, so I'm going to stick with mostly my Archers and Mages. You can see what the enemies are going to be coming when you just hover over that little skull. So it's important to look to see what's going to come. If you kind of memorize what they actually are, what type of units they are, you can think ahead. So thinking ahead is definitely important in strategy games. So of course I can start building these random guys here just to help defend. I will get at least 1 barracks that will help me out if any guys actually start getting through. I'm going to put them as close as possible to all my towers right here. So now what's going to come? There's wolves that are coming, and there are more wolves. So there's lots of wolves coming. They're really fast. I'm actually going to wait. I'm not going to send out the wave early until I'm fully sure that these towers will take care of all these guys. And if they start sending, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. So what I can do is I can just use this right here and send this out early, and I will get a little bit of my cooldown back, though not much. Now I am going to be putting a couple guys here just to help stop the wolves. If you notice, the guys run around and the wolves actually do stop for my guys, which is kind of cool. If you ask me, the wolves will just randomly stop even if your guys are far away and running towards them. And now we got more goblins coming. And the reason why I sent out those goblins so fast is because the wolves are so fast already that I can just by the time the goblins get here, the wolves will be completely gone. So I can start upgrading my towers. I think, like I said, this is probably one of the most important spots. So I'm going to be upgrading this guy pretty much all the way. You notice he has this full U of attack. So that's a lot of attack range, so that means he is my most important tower, at least to me. What's coming in the next round is more goblins. So I'm actually not too worried about goblins, but I am worried about wolves. And because those wolves are coming, I'm actually not going to send out this next wave early. And it's going to hurt me gold-wise, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. At least on these early waves. Even 1 life or 2 lives can just make you unhappy. Losing one of those lives is just not good. Now the problem here is the goblins are medium speed and these guys are fast speed, so everybody's going to come around at the same time. Not fun if you ask me. I'm going to upgrade, oh, I can't upgrade this guy yet, so I'm going to have to upgrade a couple of these other guys. On the other hand, I was going to upgrade this guy to my 2nd tier tower, but I cannot yet. I forgot about that. That's okay though, no big deal. Now we have orcs. So orcs are actually not extremely slow, but they're a little bit on the slow side, so I will actually send them out now. By the time they get here, all my towers should take care of these guys. And if I need to, I of course have this rain of fire, but I don't think it's going to be required. So I am actually going to upgrade this guy as well. So what's coming in the next round? We have more goblins. So like I said, we're going to wait a little while on the goblins. These guys are the ones that have the medium physical armor. Excuse me, the medium physical armor here, so you gotta be a little bit careful with going too many archers. You gotta go with a little bit of mages. And my mage is upgraded, so I'm not too worried. And there is 11 waves to this one, but they're not very big waves. They're kind of mediocre, stupid waves that you really don't have to worry about too much. So I am going to actually build another archer tower here and another archer tower here as soon as I can. They're just going to be the helper archer towers. I think going a bunch of random little small towers is actually extremely effective, especially late game. Not really late game, but later when we get to levels like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, going a bunch of these towers is actually not a bad idea, guys. Especially with mages. Mages are extremely good because you can get an upgrade where the mages, every time they shoot, even if they're a low-level mage, they stall the guys to like half speed, which is a good thing. Now, these guys right here are new enemies, so let's check them out and see what they are. They're called a shaman, and these guys have high magic resistance, so you don't want to go too many of the mage towers. They can heal themselves and allies, and they are average speed. So we gotta be careful for these guys. You don't want them healing everybody up. You want to kill them as fast as possible, so archer towers are very important. And then the next wave should be super duper easy, no big deal, guys. But those shamans are a little bit scary. So here's another tip: magic resistant enemies, don't go too many of those. That's kind of obvious. That's why I went with mostly archer towers here. Archer towers, there's no way you can go wrong unless there's a bunch of guys with a lot of physical armor. And even these guys with low physical armor really don't have that much armor, so you don't even have to worry too much, guys. Especially when you have this one mage here, which should not cause anybody to do any problems to you whatsoever. So now there's more goblins. So now we have 30 goblins on top, which is a lot of goblins, guys. And we have a bunch of random guys on the bottom here. So these guys are all going to be coming pretty fast, so I'm not super worried, but I am a little bit worried. So I'm just going to upgrade those archers. I'm going to actually upgrade my footmen just in case. And I'm also going to get ready to use one of my Rain of Fires just in case. Now I could be using the Rain of Fires more often than I am, but my towers are doing pretty good, so I really don't feel like it's important. But I should be putting as many of these guys as possible out, but I am not. And it's just more because I'm distracted, really. I'm trying to talk and do all this at once, and to be honest, with Bloons Tower Defense, it's probably a little bit easier for me because I'm used to it. But for this one, yeah, not quite as good. So I do have tons of gold here, so why not just keep upgrading my archer towers? Those guys are super duper good and pretty much owning everybody. Level 9 was not a big deal. The wolves here destroying the wolves. So we're just going to send out the next wave pretty much as soon as possible. And of course my voice is getting all dry and messed up, and there's really not too much I can do about it. I don't know, it's just that time of the day. So I just drank some water, and hopefully that'll help, but I don't even know. So what's this guy? We get a new enemy guy. This is an ogre. Very high health, very slow, and costs 3 lives. So this is the one where you got 3 lives. If this guy gets through, you lose 3 lives, which is not a good thing, guys. You don't want to lose 3 lives just from one enemy. That's not the way to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stall these guys and try and kill this guy as fast as possible. And I think he will die pretty fast. I got all these archer towers up to 1-0. Now I have them all up to 1-0. And, yeah, he will die really, really easily, and these goblins are pretty much nothing. So I'm just going to send out 2 waves all at once. I got my Rain of Fire just in case. Even though this is level 11, and it could be tough, you know, because it's the last level, I'm not worried at all. So I am going to just make a mage tower here and here just because I can. And we got 2 boss trolls. They're not called boss trolls, they're called ogres. But for whatever reason, I just like the name boss troll. And that boss troll is just in a few games, for whatever reason, that just sticks in my head whenever I see a troll-looking thing. He's a boss troll, he's not just a regular troll. So this guy obviously died pretty easily, this guy died pretty easily as well. And, Bloodlust, ooh, we got some more achievements, guys. I love my achievements. So these guys are all going to be really easy to kill. Let's just kill this guy just because we can. I'm not really too worried. Just doing some extra damage versus him. And I really don't even have too much more stuff to upgrade, really. I mean, I could just build some more archer towers if I needed to, but it's really not required. And this level seemed like it was actually pretty darn easy, if you ask me. It wasn't too bad. I think when it starts getting tough, it's right around level 6, 7, 8, and you know, anything beyond that can be a little bit tough depending on how good you are and how much you've been playing. So that was level 11, and to be honest, I don't see these guys getting through my defense very easily at all. Okay, there we go. So that was like a solid 10-minute video. This is how long most of the videos are going to actually be. They're not going to be the 4-minute videos that you guys have been seeing in the past videos. They're actually going to be even longer, up to 20 minutes long, 25 minutes maybe for some of those harder videos, for some of those harder levels. So that's all I got for today's video. As always, if you guys want to press like for me, much appreciated. That's all I got. Have a good one.